Good afternoon. As some of you have asked me how to calculate your grade, I thought I'd make a short video and go over this real quick. In Blackboard, under Course Information, you will find the grade calculator. This is an Excel file. Bring your cursor over this word grade calculator fall 2019, and when you select it, the file is downloaded. That's the Excel file. Open the Excel file as I'm doing right now, and we will enable the edit, which means that will let me enter information over here. So to start with, this grade calculator has been built on what was listed in your syllabus, the grading rubric. The grading rubric in the syllabus stated that homework, quizzes, exam 1, 2, and 3, 3 is being the final exam, are what comprises the final grade, are what's going to determine your final grade. You had 11 chapters. Each chapter had one homework and one quiz. Each of those was worth 1 point for a total of 22 points that was done outside of the exams. The exams, they're all 50 points each, but the weightage of each of those 50 points is different. The first exam weighed 23% on your final exam, or final score. The second exam is 25%, and now the final exam you're going to take next week is 30%. So how does that play out over here? So let's just assume that I have a student who comes to me and says they did 10 out of the 11 homework assignments and got a perfect score. So they missed one homework. So they got 100 points out of the 110 that they could earn. That gives them 10%. They lost 1% because they didn't do one homework. Let's say that student did the same thing for quizzes, missed one quiz altogether, did perfectly on everything else. 200 out of 220 points, again 10%. The first exam student didn't do so well, earned a 35 out of 50. That works out to 16.1%. That's a weighted score. 35 out of 50 is 70%, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at 35 divided by 50 multiplied by 23%. That's how we come up with this number over here. You can check the formula if you would like to try it out separately. Let's say the same student decides that they're going to put in a lot more work, and actually it resulted in a better score in exam 2. Now this is worth more. Student gets 40 out of 50. This is now worth 20%. Now all that's left is a final exam. Let's assume our student does really well on the final exam and pulls an A, 45 out of 50. That's a traditional A. And we now have 83.1%. So before I get this 45, let me take that out for a second. The current standing is 56%. That means if the student does not do the final exam at all, what they will end up with is 56%, which is a failing grade. We obviously don't want that. Let's assume our student got 45 out of 50, brings you up to an 83.1. 83.1 is a B minus. Now, if the student has done the Orion extra credit assignment, let's assume the student has done all of it and earned 110 points. That's worth 2%. That 2% is going to push you over from B minus into a B. So this Orion is really a very handy tool to have over here because it could move you up in the borderline cases. It really will comfortably move you up very well. You still have a few days to work on the Orion extra credit. Do as much as you can. It's also going to help you in terms of practicing for your final exam. So what's done is your homework, your quizzes, exam 1, exam 2, those are over. What's really still remaining for you to play with is this 30%, which is for your final exam, and 2%, that's Orion. There's 32% still to be earned out over there. So you still can do it. Look at the grade calculator, enter your scores, what you've earned. You should find this on Blackboard. Enter the totals, total homework, total quizzes, exam 1, exam 2 score. Look at your Orion and see how much you've earned so far and what else you can do to improve that number. Bring it all the way up to 110 if possible. And that then leaves you only with the final exam. You have plenty of time to study, work through it carefully, and give it your best shot. If you have any further questions about this great calculator, please send me a detailed email and I'll work with you in terms of calculating your individual grade. Good luck with the Orion assignments and studying for the final exam.